Hello, everybody. We are your Las Vegas Raiders beat writers on SI, Hondo Carpenter and Ezekiel Trezevant. And welcome into the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. It's great to have you here. This is practice report number 11. It was kind of an easy day because obviously there's travel headed up to a big game in Seattle. I'll be up there with them in Seattle for what I think for sure is going to be a tremendous game. Ezekiel Trezevant joins us, my, again, co-beat writer and more importantly, my friend. Just a wonderful guy. Love him dearly. And we were just literally talking before the podcast about being family. And I got to tell you, Zeke, Shannon still talks about our dinner with Jazz and how much we love your wife, Jasmine. What a beautiful bride. So thanks for being with me, my friend. Let's talk about practice today. Again, it was not as heavy getting ready for traveling in a game, but it was the Brock Bowers Geno Smith show.
It sounds like you really can't say it enough because every day is just more Geno to Brock. And listen, it's not necessarily a knock on the defense because there have been a lot of plays where Geno went to Brock and the defense was draped all over Brock, and Bowers just did what Bowers does. So, but yes, those guys are. I would argue they probably have the best connection out of anybody, Geno and Brock, out of the pass catchers in Geno. So Brock has been showing a lot. He looks good. It's going to be interesting to see what teams do to stop him. I feel like he's prepared to see some different things this year. But you'll also notice that Brock has gotten better as well.
Let's talk about another guy that just every day makes a play. And you were there today. You saw it, Alex Bachman. Talk about Alex and his continuing just to make plays.
Yes, listen, Alex, man, it seems like he's kind of moving on up, right? Slowly but surely. I saw him a little bit out there with the ones today. I definitely noticed that. And actually a little bit yesterday as well. Him and Besh, a couple of plays, right? And you can kind of see those guys making their way up because eventually they're probably going to end up calling on those guys at one point or another, right? So, but yes, Alex, you've seen him pop a couple times in practice, dependable. Both him and Alex Besh, very, very dependable. It almost when you see the ball go their direction, you expect a catch, and that's the first thing that you'll notice about those guys.
You just called Jack Besh Alex Besh.
I'm sorry. Hey, listen, those guys. Listen, man. Yes, those guys look somewhat similar. That's all. That's all.
All right.
In terms of
So
physical.
yeah, I know. Let's dig in on this for a minute because let's really turn the focus to what we're looking for in Seattle. I think this is probably the best thing we can do on the podcast today. I am old school. I don't want to see Max, Jacoby, Geno, Brock, Holton. I mean, I can go through and name several guys I don't even want to see on the field. I don't want him on the field. Don't need him on the field. Don't step on the field. Don't go near. I don't want to see Adam Butler. I don't want to see. I mean, I can go through and name a bunch. Okay. Then there are some one series, maybe two. Okay. Ashton. I don't need to see a whole lot of. I want to see some. I want to see a lot from these guys in the dual practices next week, but we're talking specifically on this preseason game in Seattle. But I don't need to go see. I want to see a Landon Roberts for one series and get him out. Devin White, one series, get him out. But I'd love your thoughts on that and kind of expectations. I want to see Zamir. I want to see Sincere. I don't need to see Raheem. He's already a proven all-pro guy. I don't even want to see Raheem on the field. Ashton may be one series, but the rest, Zamir and Sincere. Again, your thoughts, your process.
So I know obviously we have additional preseason games, and as you go further into the preseason, more and more starters play. But just with where they're at right now, I would like to see maybe the offensive line get out there for one drive, and that would probably be it for me. Especially after Lonnie Johnson. I mean, getting hurt in a mock game, you don't want to risk that with anybody else. And there's never a time you can take the field where you can assume that everybody's going to leave healthy. So you don't want to play games like that. So, but with where they are with timing, I do think the starting line would work out a lot better for them if they just got that one drive just to see, okay, we're good, right? Just to kind of get it out the way. But like you said, after that, get them out of there, right? You never want to lose players in the preseason. That's not the goal here. But I think with where they are in terms of figuring out the timing, give them a drive.
All right, interesting from you. Again, we're talking about what are we looking for in Seattle. Let's start specifically at running back. I would like to see, you know, if let's just say Zamir is a guy that gets 10 reps with the twos, 10 reps with the threes, 10 reps with the fours. Obviously, that's too many. Five, five, and five. And I want to see the same reps with the same players for Sincere, same type of play calling. Sometimes people don't understand, but in the preseason, they're not even game planning to win until the fourth quarter. They're just game planning to get looks. I want to get Sincere and Zamir the same looks. I think that's important.
Yeah, I think it's important that they get the same looks, the same or similar types of play calls, right? Because they have different skill sets. So the play calling might not necessarily always be the same. But I think it'll be
Right.
interesting to see how Chip uses both of them. Because, again, there is still a little bit of a competition between the two of those. So I would like to see those guys as much as possible. You saw it today, right, in practice. Both of those guys had some nice runs, some nice catches out of the backfield. So I would like to see that on Thursday as well. It'll be interesting to see what they do because Chip has plays for every running back on that team. That's what I've learned. That's what I've been paying attention to. And it's different, right? The plays he's running for Zamir is different than what he's running for Sincere, which is different than what he's running from
Mhm.
Ashton. So he knows what he's doing. He has a plan in mind, and I want to see that come to life on Thursday.
Talk about what stood out to you in practice specifically with those two in their runs.
In terms of Zamir, again, Zamir, man, Zamir has the pop back, right? In terms of, one thing he struggled with last year is if the defenders got to his feet, if they had any penetration, Zamir couldn't make the cuts he just kind of ran into the offensive line, right? That's not the case anymore, right? He's making the cuts, he's making the pops. Now, Sincere, man, he is smooth, smooth, smooth. Once he gets going, it's hard to get him. And it's like poetry when Sincere gets the ball. It's just he gets going and it's hard to stop him. So both guys do things very, very well. And I can promise you guys this. Chip Kelly has a plan in store for them.
It's hard because we can't talk about schematics,
Yeah,
and
that's
we want to.
I want to.
And
Hondo, I want to badly, so that's kind of why I was a little hesitant there. But yes, but again, guys, in time, all of you all will see what Chip has up his sleeve.
all right, so I'm going to tell you this question. One year I was covering the Detroit Lions, and in a preseason game, they ran a play. And I said to the offensive coordinator after the game in the locker room, I go, I've been at every practice every day. I've not ever seen you run that play. He goes, yeah, I drew it on a napkin in the locker room today. And I go, why would you run it in a preseason when you haven't even practiced it? He goes, because I'm not running that effing play in the regular season. But now everybody's going to have to game plan for that play the rest of the year because I showed it. You and I both know there is a lot of new offensive schematics that we've hinted at and had not been able to talk about. I don't want to see one of them, and we did at the practice, which surprised me a little bit, but I would love to see a lot of fakery and strategery. To quote
Just
Saturday Night Live and George W. Bush, some strategery. I'd love to see some of that in Seattle. Your thoughts?
it would be good to see some gamesmanship, and that's where the fact that you got Chip Kelly comes into play because you would imagine he's probably going to do that a time or two, right? Kind of throw some or try some things that he may not have any intentions of trying in the regular season. Guys, Chip Kelly's bag is deep. We haven't even seen how deep it is out here, but just watching the different plays that he's running, I can only imagine the things that he hasn't shown us yet. So come Thursday, I want to see what he has.
All right, let's switch. Let's stay on offense and let's talk about receivers. I don't think we need to even look at Jacoby. I don't even think we need Brock Bowers. Let's specifically talk tight ends, though. I don't want to see Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, one series. That's it. I want to see Ian Thomas, Carter Runyon, and Kadir Ismail get a zillion reps along the same looks.
Listen, and they've been doing that in practice really the last couple of days. And I know you said you wanted Mayer out there for one series. Honestly, I don't even want him out there for that one series. But that's only because of how good he has been looking in training camp so far. Michael Mayer looks very impressive. I don't think we keep him under wraps into the regular season. But the rest of the tight ends on the roster, in terms of Q, as they call them, Ian and Runyon, go ahead and throw them out there and see what you got. They've got the confidence to try those plays with those guys on Thursday because those guys have been repping in practice. So I think we will see a lot of that come Thursday.
Now, before the season, when I was breaking down my projected 53 man, I had him keeping three tight ends, which is a big deal,
Yeah.
and that being Ian Thomas. I stand by that. I still think that's the three. But I mentioned to you, somebody in the building had mentioned to me that they weren't saying it's probable, but they were saying it was possible they may even keep four.
Yeah.
I can see it. I don't expect it, but I can see it. In which case, you got Kadir, Carter, at really battling it out for TE4. Do you think they keep four? Or if not, who is the fourth guy right now?
I do not think they keep four, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they did. And if they did, I think it would be Kadir. Q. I'm just gonna call him Q. That's what I think I heard Gino call him today, so I'll call him Q if you don't mind. But yeah, I think he
Mhm.
would be the fourth one. Just I mean, we saw him pop on Saturday at Allegiant. I was late. Don't get me wrong. It was late in the day, but I mean, he had huge gains, and we've seen him pop at practice too. So I think if they had to pick between him or Runyon, they're gonna pick Q.
Yeah, I think they go Q there too. I still think Ian's ahead of Q,
Agreed.
but
Yes, sir.
I think Kadir is ahead of Carter. But that's not a slam on Carter. If you
Not
can
at all
keep Carter on your practice
on the practice
squad,
squad. Yep.
yeah, he's definitely shown he can play in this league. You almost
Agreed.
don't want him. If you're going to keep four, you don't care.
Exactly.
If you're only going to keep three, you almost don't want to play Q and Carter, hoping you can keep them on your practice squad. But I get that. I understand it. Let's flip over to wide receiver. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, I know you won't hesitate to tell me. You and my wife are the two most brutally honest people in my life. Telling sometimes you just need a break from fam. But uh, I I don't need to see anything from Trey Tucker. I've seen a lot from Trey Tucker in this camp. I don't need to see anything from him. I understand if they want it. So I would say one series and one series only. All I know is he can get open and Gino can get him the ball. That's all I care about, which I already know it. I want to see a full dose of Besh. I want to see a full dose of Thornton. I want to see a full dose of Colin. And I want to see a full dose of Bachman. My guy Bachman, who just keeps making plays. I want to see those four. Your thought process.
Throw them out there. Throw them all out there. Every last one of them. I'm with you. Honestly, I don't even. I would honestly not be surprised if they do not play Trey Tucker at all. You don't. I don't personally think you need to.
Why?
Just be. Yeah, there's no need to play him right now, especially this early in the preseason. And honestly, we were talking a minute ago in terms of giving other teams things to prepare for off of what you ran in the preseason. No, let's keep Trey Tucker under wraps, right? I promise you, he's going to be a pleasant surprise between getting open down the field and carving defenses up, on crossing routes and things like that over the middle. So he has a lot of different things he brings to the table. No need to see him. He is a lot like Michael Mayer in my mind. We've seen enough from him in during training camp that we don't need to see him out there Thursday.
I was on a national radio show and I got asked what one of the receivers or tight ends is going to make the first big play of the season because they were talking about fantasy and all that, and they were talking about in New England at the start of the season. I said Trey Tucker, and the guy go, "Wait a minute, Bowers, Ginty, and Jacoby, and you're telling me Trey?" I said, "Yeah, because everyone's going to assume it's going to be like the first 2 years."
Yep.
And he's going to be in single coverage with a quarterback and get him. He gone. I could see them bombing it out to Trey first play and a touchdown. Your thought?
100%. Just to open things up on the defense, even if they don't complete the pass, it's going to give you something to think about in the future that he can do that. So yes, I think Trey has looked great so far. You got to think
Mm-hmm.
about it, right? This is the best offensive coordinator. This is the best quarterback he's played with in the 2 years, now 3 years that he's been in the league. So some of the issues that they've had before, finding ways to get Trey open, finding ways to get him the ball, shouldn't really be a problem going forward. Is going to be more so the timing with Gino and getting on the same page with Gino and taking it from there.
All right, let's talk about. I mean, I don't want to see Max on the field. I don't want Max anywhere near the field. In fact, if I'm Pete Carroll, I tell him, you're staying in bubble wrap in Henderson because you'll try to sneak into somebody else's uniform and put on one of those fake
The
mustaches
mustaches.
like Bobby Valentine. I just, but I do want to see a lot of Snowden. Your thoughts on that?
Snowden, he has a great opportunity, right, to kind of start making some headway in terms of getting more playing time, getting on the field more. But yeah, in terms of your Max, your Max Crosby's really starting defensive line. Period. I just sit them all down, right? There's no need to run them out there. Malcolm Kuntz, like, why would you even play those guys on Thursday?
No.
So yeah, sit them all down. Nothing to gain from playing them on Thursday. Snowden, a lot of those other younger guys that are on that defensive line. Let's go get those guys the reps in a game where it doesn't matter in terms of the results.
So we'll talk about, you got Fotu, Andre Carter, Snowden. I mean, I want to see those three guys at DE, even some reps for Tyree. I have no issue with that. I would just put those four in there and put Malcolm Kuntz and put Max in bubble wrap. Am I wrong here?
No, no, and honestly, I think that's what. And aside from Max and aside from Malcolm, I think that's kind of the game plan this year, right? In terms of the defensive line specifically, is deep rotation. Doesn't matter what your name is, can you come play football? And I think that's going to be the attitude on the defensive line. So whether you're second string, third string, we need you in there. Go make an impact. At the very least, don't mess things up, right? And then we'll go from there. So I think they're going to have a deep rotation. I think that's the name of the game. I think Rob Leonard's going to have that defensive line ready to go. And I think they're going to pride themselves on having that second and that third string ready to go. Defensive line specifically.
Okay, let's talk. I want to see a lot of Tonka Hemingway. I want to see a lot of JJ Pegues.
Mhm.
I like that kid.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, I don't need to see Adam Butler.
Nope.
Don't want to
Let
see Adam
let
Butler.
let Jonah get
Help me
some
out
reps
here.
in there. Like there's a lot of Jonah Lalu. Get those guys in there,
Yep.
right? Get those reps in there. Jonah has a great opportunity. If he goes in there and he performs well, I mean that makes a lot of things tougher for the guys behind him.
I want to see, and I can't pronounce his name, but Traven Mai or Mai. I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to see that guy in
What-
there. I just, I'm sorry, what?
No, no, I'm listening to you. What were you saying?
Oh, I thought you said something. I'm sorry. But I mean, I just want to see a lot of these guys down there in the bottom that haven't had a chance to do some stuff just to get a chance. Show me something. And when I got an Adam Butler, and I know what I got in Adam. All right, you're in bubble wrap. You're in Henderson. I'm just telling you. I'm telling these guys, okay, you can go, but you're sitting up with Spy Tech. By the way, Spy Tech, go green. Max knows what that's about. I mean, Zeke knows what that's about. Go green, John.
Yes,
John.
sir.
But anyway, I want to see those guys. Would love your thought process.
Yeah. It's listen. It's going to be interesting to see what they have, man. And the defensive line is the defensive strength this year, right? So you have to know what you have, right? Whether it's good, bad, or
Mhm.
indifferent, you have to know what you have. In the preseason, the training camp in the preseason is the time for that. So early game or early preseason game, throw those guys out there. You got nothing to lose. Give them the 10, 20, 30 reps, how many of you want to. Now's the time to do that. It costs you nothing.
Right. All right. Next point I wanted to make to you that I think is a really critical point. Let's talk about linebacker. I want to see a Landon Roberts for one series, and then I want him in bubble wrap. And the only reason I want him out there for one is for the benefit of the ones that are playing so they can see him in a game setting. This has nothing to do with him,
Yeah,
but he's the quarterback of that defense. So I kind of want him out there for one series. But after that, I don't want to see Devin or him. Put them away. I don't even want to see Devin in play one. And if the Landon wasn't the Mike, I wouldn't want to see him either. I want Devin put away. I want to see Pratt. I want to see Jalen. I want to see Barrett. I want to see him, Amari Gainer. I want to see Jamal Adams.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to see Devin. I don't want to see a Landon other than one. Where am I at linebacker here?
I would say Jamal and Alander are the only ones that I would personally want to see, and only because it is 12 months ago these guys suffered a crazy amount of injuries, right? We don't need
Right.
to risk that at a position where, or at a unit, the defense altogether, right? You don't want to lose anybody on this defense because they're kind of top heavy, right? So there's no need to risk
Yep.
that. And a lot of the guys on the defense that they brought in, a lot of the new additions have had injury history. So again, no need to risk that. So get them a drive out there at the most, sit them down. I think the linebacker position is similar to the defensive line in terms of rotation, right? Now they're going to keep their Landons, their Devins, their Pratts. Those guys are going to hold it down, but they also want to get the guys behind them ready.
All right, let's talk about safety because I I don't want to see IPM. I don't want him anywhere near the field. I mean, he is your best safety, and there is no reason to take a risk at a position that's already a place of risk. What do you think of my synopsis keeping IPM on the bench?
I think that synopsis is par for the course. Really, honestly, Hondo, out of the 11 guys on defense, that might be the case for 9 of them, right? Just you just can't afford to take that chance. Yeah, again, you're already down Lonnie Johnson. If God forbid something else happened out there, it could have a bad start to the season, right? So Isaiah has looked good. He's looked fast out there. Chin has looked good. You know he's going to be physical. You pretty much know what you're getting in him.
Yep. Yep.
If you want to play some of the younger safeties behind them, obviously, please go ahead and do so. But those starters, man, you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Yeah. And let's go right to Chin. I was going to go to him next. Same thing. I don't need to see anything out of Chin. He's not coming off an injury.
But
We already know how good he is. Put him in IPM. But I want to see Trey Taylor. I want to see JT Woods. I want to see a bunch of these
all
young pups trying to become dogs and just say, listen, go eat.
Yeah. And I think you're going to see that. Pete, we talked to Pete today, and he even said, "Hey, he said it multiple times, but he said it again today that he's not hesitant to play young players. And what better time to do that than the preseason, right? So I think that's what we're going to see. And I wouldn't be surprised if Pete just lets those guys just run up the snap counts, right? Go get the experience. I really expect to see
Yeah.
that.
All right, three more things I want to talk about. Let's switch to corner. This is a tough one for me. I want to see the rookie Darian Porter. He just needs reps. He's a rook.
Yes.
Stokes, I think, has had a great camp. In fact, you're going to love this. I was on a interview with Green Bay today, and Nate Hobbs is injured again.
Oh, really? I didn't
And
know.
yeah, and the
Serious? Is
guy,
it a serious injury, or I have no idea? Is it a serious injury? Is it
I don't know that they know.
okay? Okay.
Okay, but I get this thing. Can we get you on the show? Exactly why you said they let Hobbs go. And so they had me on and they said, Hondo, what's going on here? And he goes, all we're hearing from you is Stokes is blowing it up and we let him go and we take your injured guy. And he's injured again. And I love Nate. You know that. You love Nate.
We
This
do.
is
Yeah.
not personal with Nate.
100%.
But I would love your thoughts. I keep going back with Stokes because he's coming off an injury. So I guess I want to see one series from him. But basically, I guess I want to see every corner.
Yeah, no, I mean, the cornerback group is, you got to get them out there. You have to, right? Because even that's the weak link of the group, right? Even they have acknowledged that they've heard that. So you want to get them out there again in a meaningless game where it's not going to cost you. Get them the reps. Darian Porter has looked good against his own guys, right? So now it's time to go play some other people that you haven't seen before, and let's see what he looks like out there. He should be good. He looks good. He has the tools. Expect a lot of things from him. Stokes has looked good. I keep looking at Stokes again every day. I look at Stokes just to see, like, hey, how is he cutting? How is he making his moves? He looks good out there. He looks good out there. Now he contends for the ball, right? So there's times that the receiver might come down with it, right? But he's always in contention for the ball. Like what I've seen from Stokes so far, you don't necessarily need to play him. I think they've seen enough from him to say, let's wait a couple weeks to get you out there. So cornerbacks, get as many of those young guys. They have a lot of young guys out there. I think that went into the trade for, or trading away Jacorian Bennett. I think they have the confidence in the guys in front of them. So let's see what they got.
All right, last thing I want to talk to you about is a guy that, quite frankly, you and I both know how high they are on Tommy Mellott. Okay? And they are. It's a huge jump. He's changing positions going from FCS to the NFL. This is not any term of just, they are not discouraged with him. They're not down on him. Nothing. People read into that, and we're not saying that. But the point is, he hasn't flashed a little bit yet. And I thought if he flashed, he would make the 53 man because they're super excited about his athletic skills. Now he's got 3 more games to flash and the joint practices. So anything can happen. But there's a guy that we have, and I don't know that overlooked is the term, but that's Dylan Labe, who in special teams has looked special. The longer Mellott takes to flash, I think there's an opportunity for Labe. He could sneak in there as a special teams guy because he has looked special. Am I wrong?
Listen, shout out to Dylan Labe. I mean, imagine coming
I
into his
love that
shoes and,
kid.
and, and seeing the things that you've seen to be in the position he's been in, and just to be able to battle and fight and scratch and claw to find a niche of some point of some sorts that you can make your presence felt. Listen, he's been looking good out there, right? He was kind of shaky at first in terms of running back wise this year in training camp and in the offseason, but in terms of special teams, maybe that's where he makes his hay, right? So he's looked good out there. it's a fit for him, right? He's small, he's quick, he's fast, and once he gets going in
He's
the straight
fast.
line, good luck trying to catch Dylan Labe. And he looks faster. That's another thing that we've all noticed as well. So Dylan has a chance to go do his thing, and I hope it works out for him.
I really do because I love the kid. And I'm not rooting against Mellet. I like
Yeah,
them both.
yeah,
But Labe, you know, my mother's first jersey was Dylan Labe.
really,
And
man.
my mom had 4 boys
Look,
that all
can
played football.
my one of my favorite Dylan Labe stories is when Max Crosby said that he looks like Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile, and I had to hold back my smile right in front of Max because I was laughing so hard. It was such a ridiculous comparison, but he was right. He looks just like Cheddar Bob from 8 Mile. So that's what I always think about is Max being like, yeah, I call him Cheddar Bob.
I remember when Max said it, I said to him later, because we're both from Michigan, so we know it's just mandatory if you're from Michigan, you know every part of 8 Mile.
Yes.
And I'm like, brother. And he goes, I know, Cheddar Bob.
Yes, sir. That was a good one. That was a good time.
So overall, though, I'm excited to get this game behind him, then get back to
Yes.
Henderson. I think there's going to be a lot of good film. I think we're going to start to see some separation, and I think that's going to be the good thing. So thanks for joining me, Zeke.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you. All right, tomorrow we're going to have a very special podcast tomorrow. I'll be up in Seattle, and of course we'll be back again talking practice reports. The grind is on. We'll see
It's
you all
on.
tomorrow.